ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa starts 2 days of testimony at the state capture inquiry later this morning. He'll be appearing before the commission in his capacity as ANC President. He'll be testifying again next month as President of the country and former Deputy President. For more on this, let's cross live now to our colleague in Braamfontein, political editor Mzwandile Mbeje. Very good morning to you, Mzwai. Very good. All eyes on the commission today. Take us through what we can expect.
A very good morning to you, Desiree, and the viewers. This is indeed a very important day that every South African would want to watch and see what is going to be happening, because the head of the governing party, President Cyril Ramaphosa, will be taking the stage at the State Capture Commission. Remember, he is going to be coming here today as the president of the ANC, and then on the 13th and 14th May, he will then come back as the president of the country. So which means more of his questioning will be limited to activities relating to the ANC. What many people are expecting, even including those we have spoken to from the official opposition, is that he will explain, for example, how the cadre deployment works, because I think that's where they say is the root cause of the problem. But as far as I also know and understand, when Judge Zondo started the commission, one of the really key questions he's always wanted to know, particularly from those in the governing party, is that if there were things that were done wrong by certain individuals, where was the collective? Given that the current president, Desiree, he was the deputy president, and even before he became the deputy president, he's always been the member of the NEC. So the NEC, the highest decision-making board. So which means he's always been close to knowing what is happening insofar as decision-making is concerned in the ANC. So that is exactly what the judge will then do. Will find out to say, here, the ANC or the ANC leaders did this and that. So as the collective, as the deputy president then, so what did you do? So those are the questions so we are expecting. On the issue of cadre deployment, so how do you choose someone to put in a particular position? Remember, the deputy president of the ANC, Desiree, is the chairperson of the deployment committee. That committee that selects people who get assigned or deployed to various portfolios. So those are some of the issues again that will come back. And I also see the issue of Bosasa coming in. Remember, Bosasa used to sponsor or fund ANC campaigns, and also he himself is also implicated in issues relating to Bosasa. So those are all the issues that we expect the president of the ANC to answer as he sits before Judge Zondo.
So you touched on a few of them, but when 2 days have been allocated, what sort of detail are we expecting to come out?
I think it will be more, Desiree, on what Judge Zondo wants to hear. Remember, he is left with very few months. Actually, he needs to conclude very, very, very soon. This commission started way back in 2018, so it's supposed to have long concluded. In fact, the original time frame for the commission was 6 months. It kept on getting extended. So what Judge Zondo would want to know really are some of the key issues that will form his understanding when he drafts that final report. So he would want to know, for example, so how the ANC operates. I know that the chairperson of the ANC, Gwediman Ashe, has been before the commission. He has been able to explain some of the things, but I think it would be more important to hear from the one who is heading the ANC and the one who was actually the second in command. So how does the ANC operate? So when it deals with donors, who is responsible, who gets involved? When it's the issue, for example, of some people being deployed into particular positions, who does what? So what is the criteria? So I think the judge would want to really understand so how the ANC operates, and then where he gets clarity, and then he will be able to say, if this is how it's done, so how was this particular decision allowed to go or to be made when it is flouting that policy that you have set out? So I expect this session, Desiree, to be a session where the judge really will be made to understand clearly the function or the inner workings of the governing party, because those decisions that they make are the ones that then inform what happens in government. That's why next month it will be very key as well to listen to what the president is going to be saying, because there you'll start to hear the issues around parastatals, the issues around the deployment in certain government activities and entities. So yes, it will be a very interesting situation to watch today.
Mzwai, of course, everyone who appears at the commission gets to have legal counsel. But in this instance, the president himself is a trained legal practitioner. How do we expect him to approach this process in terms of this tranche, these 2 days, and the follow-up 2 days?
Yeah. Remember, he's coming on behalf of his party, the ANC. He will be accompanied by a few members of the NEC. Remember, there can't be too many because of the COVID restrictions. So, but still, because there may be issues that arise, there would obviously be legal people who would represent the ANC, not necessarily him as a person, but him as the president of the ANC, in case there are issues coming out. And I think one of the people who, the members of the NEC that would be with him is I think Jeff Hadebe, who also has a law background, as Ronald Lamula, who also has a law background. So you can see the composition of the delegation as well is such that they are able to deal with issues in case there are legal implications that come out. He himself, he's a lawyer by profession, so he should be able to understand how some of the issues operate. So we basically expect him to then, obviously, when he is taking the stand, and then he'll be all by himself, because remember, when you're on the stand, you can't then say, well, my comrade, so how do I respond to this? So I guess he's properly apprised now, so he's been briefed, so he knows, I mean, it's part of the entire setup, so it should really be easier for him to really assist the commission, as Judge Zondo has always been saying, to say those who are there, those who are in the know, and those really who are willing to assist must come forward. And I think this will be the opportunity for the president of the ANC to do just that.
It'll be really interesting trying to separate party and state in this conversation. How do you think they will straddle this line?
Necessarily, Desiree, as much as the majority of the questioning or the talk will be around the party, but it will straddle around the state, because this is the party that is running the state. So you can't run away from that, because even those decisions that are made in the ANC, they are made to go and be implemented in the state. So time and again, you would find a situation where he will be speaking mainly about the party, but he will then straddle into the state, because you can't somehow separate these things. In fact, separating himself is even more difficult. Yes, we know that he's here as the president of the ANC, but the fact of the matter is that he's the president of the country as well. So there are some of the issues that he should be able to answer to immediately when they come up. Yes, it will be. I think how they will the format of the question will be largely around the inner workings of the ANC, the NEC decisions, but time and again, so you will hear him say something about the state or about government, because you simply cannot ignore it completely, because those decisions made in the ANC are affecting government or the state.
Mzwandile Mbeje, political editor at SABC News, thank you so much for setting the stage for us. Of course, we